Yep.
All right, boys. Welcome to the 2025 annual league meeting. This marks season number 10 for us in For the Moms history. Everyone give themselves a round of applause for making it to this beautiful milestone. Without any further ado, let's get into the stuff because I do not want to keep you guys here any longer than we have to be. If you have any questions, please stop me and ask along the way, but do let me try to finish the slide first unless it's highly relevant or you are very confused. All right. Quick reminders. This is the rookie salary table. You should all be familiar with this by now. I'll run through the calendar real quick. So tonight we're doing the meeting. Hall of Fame game will be this Thursday. That's when the holdout prices will be released. And then your RFA and franchise tag option windows will open. So that will be the first time you'll be able to start tendering your RFAs. And then you'll have until August 4th. So you'll have 4 or 5 days to do it. I guess 4 days to do it. 72 hours before the auction, franchise tags are going to be due and your qualifying offers are due. That gives everyone 3 days to prepare for what they want to have their strategy be going into the auction. And then temporarily, that's the opening of the trade window. We'll talk about that in a second. And then the week one preseason games, not the first one because there's the Hall of Fame game before that, but the first preseason games when the auction starts, it will run until the end of preseason, August 23rd. We'll have the rookie draft somewhere in the middle. We will vote on which days we can and cannot attend. Whichever day has the best attendance is the day the rookie draft will be on. And then after that, season starts, the usual days that we have every year. So, any questions about the calendar before I get into RFAs? Okay. Why is everyone muted?
Uh, mm,
Did I mute everyone?
we are, no, we're not
I,
muted.
I wasn't
Because
muted.
nobody's talking.
I don't think anybody had any
I don't
questions.
think anybody had questions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty straightforward.
Uh, okay. So RFA says it has officially been 2 years since we did our first rookie draft, which means your players are now restricted free agents. So how this works, if you are not familiar, you will be giving your RFAs one of these qualifying extensions. It will be due at the same time as the franchise tag is due. Based on which extension you give them, shows what kind of pick compensation someone has to give you if they want to go and steal them from you. These for this year, so for 2025, these have to be 2026 picks that you're trading away. You cannot use 2027 or 2025, even if you sign them before the draft. For this one, you can either do, because it's two first round picks, you can either do a 2026 and a 2027, or you can do two 2026 picks. They do not have to be your own picks. They can be anyone. So they could be back of the round or who you think is going to be the back of the round. But you do have to give up these picks if you want to go and poach one of those players from them. And then they still will have the right of first refusal. So if you run up Joe Smith from Blake, if Blake tenders him for 100 and you run him up to, let's say, 120, Blake will have the option to match it for 120 and then Blake gets to keep it. So you do still have final say, but you have to be able to make sure you afford them if someone runs up the price. Also, if you're trying to poach, you got to be prepared for what your plan B is going to be if you don't end up getting them or if they match. Any questions about RFAs?
So this is more of a clarification. I understand it, but so for example, Joe Schmo, whatever, someone tries to take him. I offer 100, someone offers 120. I match it. They can't then go back and offer 125, right? That's just done.
Correct. So,
Someone else could offer 125, but that person could not.
yes. So you don't even get the option to match it until they clear the auction. I guess I should clarify that. So
Oh,
you get to wait until the other 9 teams pick who's the highest amongst them, and then you get
okay.
to decide if you match or not.
Okay. That makes it easier, yeah.
I was going to ask for clarification to Travis on the draft picks because you were mentioning like 2026, 2027, and talking about like potentially doesn't have to be your pick. You could choose to like give somebody else's pick. Um, is like any first round pick technically on the table, or does it have to be within the next 2 years? So, for example, if somebody didn't have a first round pick this year, that had
No,
2027, 2028 first round picks.
No, it has to be 2026. The only time you can use the 2027 is if you have to go up two first.
Yeah, I guess it was more clarifying that.
Okay, yeah,
So, but you can't use 2028, like even
No.
if you don't have a 2026.
correct. You got
So
to get
if
the
you only have one first round pick in the next 2 years, you just straight up can't offer like the 3 year 125 RFA. Basically.
correct.
Okay.
Well, you can offer to your own players. You can't if someone puts that
Yeah, no, to somebody else. Yeah.
unless you somehow acquire another first round pick, be a trade or whatever.
Fair.
You could do that really quickly and then put your but yeah, if you do it and you don't have the correct compensation, your bid will just be thrown out. It'll be like it never happened. And I will be very not happy because it's
Okay. And then this is like flowing also through like the typical free agent like spreadsheet, so everybody can see
Yes.
like the qualifying offers.
So I'm gonna
people.
Yeah, so I got this page and then we have the ones by positions. I haven't done this yet, but I'm gonna build a fifth page on the back that's just RFAs, and that will show you exactly what you owe if you end up winning.
But so the tenders themselves will also be on like the Google Sheets, right? That's why we have that in
It'll also be on the Google Sheets, probably not on this page. It'll be on
your team page.
in your
Yeah.
team page. It'll be like down here.
Yep.
Okay. Is anyone nervous that their players are going to get poached from that? No, it probably shouldn't be.
I said Noah probably will poach people, but that's about it.
Noah doesn't got any salary cap room. Probably he doesn't have enough salary for the bench.
Yeah.
But
Hey.
it worked out for him.
Hey
He's
Travis,
gonna-
I got one last question on the RFAs.
Yes.
So it's 72 hours. We're allowed to bid on like what we would like if we wanted to go get somebody. Is it 3 days?
Yes.
Time frame?
It's the same. It's just like a normal auction until
Mhm.
it's won. Then you get a second 72-hour period to match it, or
Gotcha. Okay.
or not. Yeah.
So like it could, if people were bidding on somebody and that ran over the 3 days, that would just continue.
What do you mean? Like, give me an example.
So like if somebody was bidding on somebody over like multiple, like there's no like hard stop, like all biddings for RFAs have to be done by this day.
Well, it's just when the auction ends.
Yeah. Okay. So it'll just start and then it'll just run like the auction does
Yeah,
until
it
like somebody clears it for 72 hours and then they can match.
Yeah, and then you can match. Then you
Got
get
it.
a
Okay.
72-hour period to match.
So on like your own players, once you put in your qualifying, you just don't have to pay attention to it until the end, until you're notified, right?
Well, if someone
At that point, you can't do anything until the last bid is in, so until you match, right?
right, but that could be in the middle of the auction still. Like if I take Joe Schmo from you on day one of the auction, then that means you have days 4, 5, and 6 to match it. So you still got to consider how you're going to balance that with the rest of your strategy.
No,
yeah.
I know. I was just saying it's not like in the actual auction where people are like checking every 12 hours or whatever to see if they've been outbid. So,
Well, plus it sounds like I mean it's just going to flow the same way as free agency.
Yes.
So like an RFA could still be auctioned on until the 11th hour, basically. So you might not know like what salary you have to match until like whatever 3 weeks into free agency.
yep.
True. All right. If there's no further questions or confusion on the RFAs, we're going to get
And RFAs are just our rookies that we drafted.
yes. 2
Right,
years
okay.
ago.
Yeah.
So I feel like you probably traded all years away or something, but
Yeah. I just have JJ McCarthy if any Michigan fans want him for a premium.
Well,
Yeah.
there's only one Michigan
He's-
fan in this chat.
He's not up for this round, Lemp. He's a year down the road
Oh,
It's-
never mind.
It's after
He's
their
still
second
cooking.
year.
after the second year.
That's right. He's only 1 year out.
all right.
if you want to trade for painted fingernails, I know you like that.
Caleb Williams for JJ
It could
McCarthy.
be
It's like
cut
trading
from the
Stanford
other
for-
ends of the cloth, but still the same.
All right. So we have never discussed formally when the trade window should open, specifically when we are also doing RFAs, because opening it before they're due would mean you could trade someone and then you're trading their RFA rights, which means then the other team, the team you're trading them to, would then have the option of tendering them. So that's pretty much the biggest factor in when we want to open it, but it's just, do we want to open it when we when the holdout prices come out or when the franchise tags are due? We will vote on that. We're not going to do any voting tonight because I want to do the survey just so I have it for record keeping for next year. But any opinions, go ahead. Feel free to share.
I'm on the side of trade windows opening as early as possible. I think the people that want to trade through fucking June should be able to do that. I'm not one of them, but so I think it would be my opinion to open it up as early as possible, and that would be when holdout prices are released.
Okay. I don't hate that. I do like the idea of trading RFA rights, at least as an option.
Yeah.
I just not think about it.
I mean, the right of first refusal is kind of big, so.
I think the right of first refusal comes with a lot of draft capital. So there's people that are more, I like Nick in that, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, had like fucking 10 of the first like 25 picks. So like some of those rookie wide receivers that he has rights of first refusal on, he might not need coming out here. And I think they have a lot of draft capital, trade capital for it. So I think the earlier it opens up, the better, especially if we're talking about being able to trade away first refusal rights.
What's the difference between the Hall of Fame game and what was the franchise tags due?
Franchise tags are due 3 days before the auction, which is preseason week 1. Hall of Fame game is technically preseason week 0.
And that's what, Wednesday this week?
It's Thursday this week, I think.
Thursday this week?
I think it's Thursday. It's either Wednesday.
I'm pretty sure it's Thursday.
So it's basically just like opening it up like a week early, basically, is our thought here.
It's
Yeah.
a 4-day difference is all we're talking about here.
Okay, yeah, that's completely fine in my opinion.
Okay. All right. Third-year player options. Blake discussed this last year. We did not officially put it to a vote, but he did want to bring it back up. So, Blake, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so I just think it's an interesting topic. Like the NFL has 5th-year options. Rookies are put on 4-year rookie contracts. And then at the end of their 3rd year, the team can option for their 5th year. I thought it'd be an interesting addition of strategy if we put it in here. I know there was discussions last year about, he has it in there, whether they would become unrestricted or restricted after that 3rd year option. When Travis brought it back up to me today, I did some thinking on it. And I think if we were going to do this, I think the way to do it would be if you pick up their 3rd year option, it would have to be after their rookie season. It would have had to be someone you drafted. So we're back to the whole Herbert issue with me, but it would have to be someone you drafted after the rookie season. You could choose to option them for a 3rd year at their rookie contract price. But I think the only way that works is after that 3rd year, they automatically go to the auction pool. So they're not a restricted free agent after that. And I think the way that would open some things up is, so for example, like Jahmyr Gibbs, right? He's probably not a guy you would 3rd year option. One, because you want him on a bigger contract than just 1 extra year. But if, for example, if you already had 2 stud running backs, maybe that is a guy that you want to option for a 3rd year, give him up after that 3rd year and keep him on that 60 coin salary or whatever it is, compared to potentially the 200 you're going to have to match in first refusal. So obviously you wouldn't know that when you have to make that choice, but I just think it adds an extra piece of strategy and it's not very complicated. Another way you could look at it is if you just need a depth piece or whatever, right? you drafted a rookie who, like for me with like Jaleel McLaughlin, who was on the Broncos, right? He was splitting a bunch of carries with Javonte. Javonte's gone now. If I would have had that option back then after his rookie year when he was splitting, I might have picked up that extra year to keep him at one coin to be a third or fourth running back on the team. So I think it just opens up different avenues that you can look at filling out roster and managing cap. And I don't think it's a very complicated addition to go with that strategy.
So to clarify, Blake, you're saying if you pick up the third year option on a guy after their rookie year, then they would become a unrestricted free agent after that third year. So basically, you're sacrificing like the right of first refusal potential to sign them for another additional 3 years in order to get them at like potentially a lower
Their rookie
price for an extra year for. I mean, I don't hate that because it offers you more like salary flexibility.
And I think yeah, exactly. I think that
like punishes you for like picking up that third year option versus like otherwise everybody would just do it if they still became an RFA after the third year. So having like it become a unrestricted free agent after the third year as the alternative there, I think that makes probably sense.
Yeah, and I think that we saw last year with the first auction, like the first full free agent auction we did, I actually think that like salaries stayed pretty reasonable. I think the highest salary that was given out in that first year was 160 or something like that. I mean, we saw last year guys going at 240, 260. And I think that if we add in this third year option where a rookie stays at his rookie contract for that third year, it opens up some flexibility in how you can spend coins in the actual free agency auction, which is another reason why I wanted to propose it.
Makes sense. I think they should have to get a slight raise from their rookie salary just because the rookie salary is so low, and you are saying, like, yes, I do still want you here.
Yeah, maybe we double it then. I mean, the reason I said same rookie contract was just I thought if we went to like doubling it, for example, if you did do Jahmyr Gibbs, right, it goes up to 120, which at that point, you're not going to even think about that third year option because you'll just go right at first refusal.
I would think probably something like 125%.
But yeah, I mean, if we can find a middle ground there, I'm not like hard set on same rookie price or anything like that. I just think that was probably the easiest way to think about it for explanation purposes.
I probably would slightly prefer to keep RFA status after, but like I see what you're saying, that like adds risk to it.
Yeah. I think if you kept RFA status after the third year, I just think it's someone, I mean, you could end up getting that guy for 6 years on a lower price than it would have taken to get in the auction after that third year. So
I just think if you keep him at an RFA like after a third year option, then everybody more like 99% of the time would just pick up the third year option.
Yes. And it would all end up being
so I probably want
the first round guys. I think the reason that I wanted this is because you get like a third round rookie that ends up performing really well, getting him on that third year when you probably aren't going to keep him after it potentially, right? Maybe he splits carries or something like that, but he's a goal line back, so he's snaking all the touchdowns from the RB1 on that team. I think it just opens up an avenue, and I think you have to have it as an unrestricted free agent after that, or everyone's just going to third year option their first round picks. And I think that sort of defeats the purpose.
Fair enough. I don't really have any more to say on the matter other than put it to a vote when the time comes.
Like I would find it very hard to believe that if we did this and we kept it in RFA, like Genty and all of like those guys, Tedderall McMillan, like aren't just going to automatically get RFA or third year. right away, essentially. So I think going to UFA after it makes the most logical sense.
Yeah.
I mean, how are we gonna vote on it then? Just like,
I'm gonna send out a survey after.
well, I guess like for this proposal specifically, because there's
Yeah.
like nuances that have to be worked out, right? Like if you're
Yeah,
keeping RFA status after third year, I personally would not vote for it. But if we're doing the unrestricted free agent after, like, I would probably vote for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's my proposal, and if we did RFA after, I wouldn't vote for it. So
Okay. So then it has to be given after rookie season. 1 year option. UFA status. Anything else I should add?
I guess the only thing we'd have to talk about would be what salary they would be on that third year at.
Oh yeah.
But
I don't know if you want to make it cut and dry. You can make it a tiered system, like how the draft picks are now. Potentially.
Yeah, that's basically what you're saying. It'd just be like some multiple of what their previous salary was. So basically where they got picked.
I don't hate the 125% you threw out there. I feel like 200 is a little much because some of those top end.
I agree.
Like, that might be a little steep. You might as well let them go to RFA status, but 125% still gives you some
Wiggle room.
flexibility for a lot of those guys. I feel like.
I agree.
I know it's only impactful
25's
for the
good.
first like 5 picks because after that the salary is really low. But
That would be around.
Yeah. Good by me.
So if it's 1, it's going to 2 still, which is going to be most. And this is not first round picks only, right?
Correct. It's any rookie from the draft.
Okay.
But like if they're 1 coin, for example, then we're just gonna round up to 2 coins. Then
Yes.
Okay. Any changes made to the free agency auction that you want to mention? Now would be the time. Like, unfortunately, shortening the clock is off the ballot this year. But anything else anyone wants to share, let me know. The proposed change I have carried over from last year is to remove the 5% increase rule for bids that go over the holdout price and when crossing your year threshold. The idea is that the holdout price is kind of artificial anyway, so going low as you can would just save you an extra coin or two. And then same thing with crossing the threshold. The idea is that you're giving them an extra year. So that's already more incentive. You don't need to go from 74 to 78 coins, going from 74 to 75. And giving them a third year is enough incentive extra. That to where we're not counting that as nickel and diming, because that's the whole point of the minimum increase anyway.
Yep.
Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, also I should point this out. You might see this throughout the year 2 of 3. This was on the ballot last year. The way the rules are going to be set up going forward, anything that gets 3 votes or less, we're going to mandatory has to take a year off, so we can't vote on it the following year. Anything that gets 4, 5, or 6 votes will automatically be voted on again the following year. So like this got 5 or 6 last year, I don't remember. It can do that up to 3 years in a row, and then it also has to take a year off. If that makes sense. And if it's 7 or more, it just goes.
Yep.
All right. Also from last year, change to the playoff payout structure. Just give a little bit more money to first place. I think it's a little bit better to reward the team that wins it all, a little more than the rest of the playoff team. But I could understand anyone going either way on that. That's really just a matter of personal preference. Changing the buy-in to raise every year due to inflation. I am a big fan of this. Last year we also had a vote for which year we'd go based off of, and we just had a previous season. So this would be based off what $75 would have been last year. These pictures are loud, but anyways, I think that would help ensure that winning a championship doesn't get devalued over time as inflation continues to go up over time. It would make sure that the money is as close to the same every year as we can in terms of spending power, at least. terms of how many Little Caesars and bar tabs you can pick up after you win the whole thing. So that's my thought logic there. Does anyone have any comments? I doubt anyone has questions. Nothing? Okay.
I mean, I was gonna say that like if you want to really raise it and like play for real money, but raising it from $75 to $85 isn't like not getting me excited.
Gonna keep going up and up and up every year. We're gonna be here.
$200.
What number is getting you excited, Matt?
200.
I mean, you guys get the point though. It's like, yeah, however long we do it, but still, like, yeah, I'm not like, oh, I won the league. Now I can go make a mortgage payment. Like,
You want to?
I mean,
Yes.
I don't know. I guess I'm just a proponent of keeping it the 75 to make things easier. If you like really want to bump it up significantly, I guess.
Bump it
But
up.
I'm also poor as hell, so I don't really have a whole lot of room to talk right now.
All right, fair enough. All right, and then last thing, your last rule proposal, I believe. I don't think to match this, but also carried over from last year. But I'm still a huge proponent of this, and this would be you raise punts and fourth down stops from 1 point to 1.5. I think it makes a lot of sense to put more emphasis on retaining possession because that is the ultimate goal of the defense. I think that having the same amount of points for a sack and for a punt makes no sense because as flashy and sexy as the sack is, it really doesn't get you anything. If on the very next play they chuck the ball deep and score or get a first down or whatever. Whereas if you get a punt, you're guaranteed giving the ball back to your offense. Job is completed. So,
the raised punts, that means if they punt, if the offense playing against your defense punts, they now get 1.5 points.
Yes.
Okay.
Instead of 1. Because I think more emphasis should be placed on getting the ball rather than flashy stat padding plays. In my opinion. Any thoughts?
Well, I mean, I know Noah's going to vote for this since he's a big defense guy. But to play devil's advocate here, would you say potentially defenses are already scoring like more than enough points? Like if they have put up like a really good week, sometimes they can be putting up 30 points, which is like basically, top end RB1 or wide receiver 1 for that week. Like that's kind of insane for defenses. Like
I think
more without like, taking away other opportunities, like something else like gets reduced points, like to counterbalance it.
Well, I would disagree. I think defense isn't getting enough. In real football, defense is half your team.
Defense wins championships.
Exactly.
But in normal fantasy football, defense is like, can they go positive for the week? And we're already like blowing that out of the water.
Yeah, because we're better than regular fantasy.
You can't compare this to regular.
Yeah. I think it's more realistic and it's a better reflection of how the team actually played that day. And between now and the voting, I may even vote some propaganda with some examples of that, of teams getting sacks and a ton of fantasy points and then getting firebombed on the next play.
On the same note of defense, can we increase the penalty for getting points scored on you then if we're giving them, a bonus for like forcing a punt? I don't know what it is for every point. Maybe we up it by like 0.1 or 0.2.
I think it's
So
0.1
you
right
get
now.
dinged a lot more.
I guess if that gets me more votes, I would consider it. I prefer not to. That's kind of why I want to do this, is because
Is
I
it
want
0.2? Because then I know like if your team's getting crushed, like your defense, they're not gonna put up points, but in garbage time sometimes like people just start punting and then that could give you, that 1.5 saving grace, even though you're getting blown out and then you squeak out a week or something. So I think
in order for that team to end up punting, though, they'd have to be at a fourth down, which is the defense's goal, right?
yeah.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you, but I'm just kind of I don't know. I mean, it makes sense to sort of counterbalance it, but I think getting a punt in theory could be almost bigger, like, than giving up. I'm not wording that correctly. I don't know how to phrase it, but I get what you're saying.
I think
Yeah.
I get what you mean, Blake.
Like, you give up points, your offense gets the ball back anyway, and at the point fucking getting blown out by 40, our defense in this league is already getting smoked because we give up 0.1 points for every point scored, in addition to 0.1 for every yard, right?
I'm pretty sure it's 0.3 per point. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 0.3 per point and 0.1 per yard.
Over 2-point swing.
Yeah, so you're getting blown out. Not only are you giving up all those points, but you're also giving up all those yards. And I think it already sort of counterbalances
enough. Yeah, I just wanted them to get smoked more.
Lemp is
So Lemp's the opposite of Noah then.
Lemp's a white collar, sling the ball kind of guy.
He's a big guy.
I want to see Trevor Lawrence have a year.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna say no to raising the scoring against. I think I'm gonna keep this proposal as just a fun increase. Because I think I don't want to lower the scoring, but I would rather lower the scoring than do nothing. But I'd rather raise the funds. But okay, that's final point on that. Divisions for this year. Lamp has moved out of state, so we now have a perfect 5-5 split of Michigan Division and American Division. American Division is now fully out of state. So everyone get nice and cozy with who you're going to be playing twice this year.
Who was in the other league last year, the out-of-state one? That was coming back over to Michigan.
It might have still been Lamp, actually.
It was still Lamp.
Yeah, okay, it was still Lamp.
No, I think it was Matt. I think Matt was on our side
last year. Yeah, no, it was
Lamp
Matt. Yeah, because Lamp and Noah lived together, so it was Matt.
Oh, okay.
That's right. So Matt and Lamp have switched.
Maybe the year before Lamp was the one that was in the other.
That's correct. So this is the same. This is probably the same divisions we had 2 years ago.
That makes sense.
Okay. Salary cap sheet audits. Last couple years, even got a little haywire with keeping up with the salary sheet. And I have been the sole one auditing them, and oftentimes I forget or get busy, and then we go weeks where no one's keeping track of what they're doing. So this year, we're going to rotate who's assigned to do it each week. We will have 2 people responsible for auditing it. That way, if one of them fucks up or is lazy or whatnot, it still gets done. Both people will be required to sign off on it. And you will be able to sign up for which week you want and switch as necessary. So if you're super, super busy one week, you do not have to do it that week. I will have signups for that here shortly. And then I would like to keep the weekly recap videos going. That will likely require some sort of similar system. I will be highly encouraging everyone to guest host. I would even probably hope that we have some weeks where it's neither Nick or I, it's just 2 guest hosts doing it. But I do want to keep those going, and I will be willing to do it as often as I can, but just probably not every. And then
for the cap sheet audits, at what point throughout the week are those going to be audited? Like, is it before the Thursday or before the Sunday games? Your sheet has to be up to date, or
probably.
Is it going to be if you make a move before the Thursday game, that has to be up to date, and then everything else has to be up to date before the Sunday? Like, how are we going to do it?
I'm going to say hard deadline by Sunday, and if you cut someone going like 24 or 48 hours prior to that and they haven't updated it, so like if by like Friday morning they haven't updated their Thursday waiver, then just cut it, or then not cut it. Just send them like a warning text or a reminder kind of thing.
Okay.
But like the hard check will be on Sundays probably.
Okay.
Is there any penalty if Lemp false audits me?
We'll make something happen.
All right, good.
All right. And that is pretty much it. I could dive into a couple more things, but we got less than a minute before we get kicked out of here. So we'll save those for announcements that will come out later this week. And then I got to go over to the lake house to get the shot back for the lottery. So I will see you guys here shortly.
Okay.